YouTube, what's good? Alright, this is a Rulings Q&A series where I answer your rulings and you give me your questions. Alright, if only I can stream this live, this will be amazing. Alright, the first question comes from Jaden. I call her Jaden because that's what her name sounds like to me. And she asked, alright, basically she asked this.
Stop squeaking.
Shut up. A lot of people argue Dark Jury's effect only lasts as long as Dark Jury is on the field. But really, the targeted card that loses the 800 attack remains affected until it is removed from the field or flipped face down via Book of Moon, etc. That said, Dark Jury's effect is mandatory, meaning if it was the only face-up card on the field, it would have to target itself. When Dark Jury is summoned and is then trap hold or destroyed by some other card that does not negate this summon, Dark Jury will still be able to again get his effect, would he not? She also asked, when Call to Haunt is played and then changed and immediately destroyed by a card that doesn't negate its activation, MST, etc., or Space Typhoon, would the card you are trying to special summon still momentarily touch the field before being sent back to the graveyard? Or would Call to Haunt effects fail to resolve? Alright, to answer your Dark Jury question, Dark Jury's effect is mandatory and does have to activate when he is summoned. And since his effect is mandatory, it always activates chain 1 against any optional trigger you can effects. So, and you're also correct. As long as Dark Jury's effect summon is not negated, his effect always happens, even if he's bottomless or trench or compulsory or anything of the like. You have to negate his summon, basically, or skill draining him to keep his effect from working. And as far as who has to be on the field for his effect to keep lingering, Dark Jury does not have to remain up. Sorry guys, I was very distracted for memes I don't want to mention. But maybe cough. Excuse me. Dark Jury, the monster Dark Jury targets, that monster is the one that has to remain faithful on the field for its attack to always stay 800 less. So if the monster that Dark Jury targeted is Book of Moon or removed from the field and brought back or flips something in or whatever, his attack is reset to its original value. Alright, now about Call to Haunt.
Kind of like Gale.
This damn chair is pissing me off.
Stop squeaking.
Gotta move in it. Cards, stop talking, peanut gallery. Call to Haunt.
No, I'm allergic to peanuts.
If you... Guess what I fed you last night? Alright. Call to Haunt. If you activate Call to Haunt and your opponent and you choose your target, your opponent is allowed to chain something to it. Regardless if you're negating the activation of Call to Haunt or just chaining something like Space Typhoon to it, you don't get your target back. Because the chain, when a chain happens, it always activates and resolves from the last card to the first. So since your Call to Haunt was first, it resolves last. Since Mystical Space Typhoon was last, it resolves first. Therefore, Call to Haunt is destroyed, and it gets no effect. The only way you can get Call to Haunt, to have Call to Haunt get a monster and still it will be destroyed, if your opponent activates something that will destroy your Call to Haunt, you can chain it, and then get your monster back, like Sangan or whatever it is, dies, you get your Sangan effect. Alright, Dark World Guy asks, hello, as I recently watched one of your videos, I found out you were a judge and a ruling has been on my mind for about 2 weeks ago that I can't find online. The ruling is if Chaos Sorcerer and Black Soldier Envoy can be special summoned from being banished, or for example, if Black Soldier Envoy at the beginning was successfully summoned and correctly summoned and gets banished because of dimensional presence, can you return from a different dimension and special summon the Black Soldier Envoy from the beginning from the banish zone? I know you can special summon from the grave if it was summoned properly, using Call to Haunt, Monster Reborn, etc. So yeah, can you use something like Return from a Different Dimension to special summon the Black Soldier Envoy? The question is, the answer is yes. Yes, you can. Reason being is, if a monster, we call these semi-nomi. Semi-nomi are monsters that can be summoned, but they have a restriction. So as long as you properly summon them first, if they get sent to the graveyard or banished, you can special summon them back without having to return them to your hand and re-properly summon them again. Nomi monsters are monsters that say, well, in the new context they say, must be special summoned by etc. and cannot be special summoned by any other way, which means they cannot be summoned in no other way but the way the card says. Cards like these are the Elemental Hero Fusion monsters, the Arcana Force X's, Destiny Hero Plasma, Destiny Hero Dogma, Allied Justice Field Marshal, Shooting Quasar Dragon. All of them can only be summoned, or examples of monsters that can only be summoned by the way the card says. Now, examples of semi-nomi monsters, monsters that now say must first be special summoned from the hand by whatever. These are examples of semi-nomi monsters, monsters that you can special summon from the graveyard or remove from play pile if they are properly summoned first. Black Soldier, avoid the beginning. Chaos Ember Dragon, avoid the end. Chaos Sorcerer, the Neo-Spacian fusions, the Vision Hero fusions. What is the one? The Solar Purity and Light, Sylphid, Gigantes, stuff like that. Those are examples of semi-noming monsters that can be special summoned after you properly summon them. Now, the only exception of stuff like that, the only exception of that is level Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, or level monsters that say cannot be special. This card cannot be normal summoned set, cannot be special summoned except by. That's the old text for Nomi monsters. Level modulation says you special summon one level monster from your graveyard, ignoring the summoning conditions, and then your opponent draws 2 cards, and blah blah blah. Now, just because it says ignoring the summoning condition does not mean you can send it to the graveyard with Foil's Burial and then bring it back immediately. You still have to summon Horus level 8 properly before you level modulation it. That's a ruling. I've seen a lot of people misplay that. Which means, to properly summon Horus level 8, you have to have Horus level 6 kill a monster in battle, and then send him to the graveyard to get out Horus level 8. If you level up Horus level 6 into level 8, that's not properly summoning him. It's just like using, I think, Rainbow Gravity, whatever one special summons Rainbow Dragon, Rainbow Dark Dragon from the hand, deck, or graveyard, or something like that. Even if you send them to the graveyard, you can't just immediately get them back for free. You have to still properly summon them. You can, ignoring the summoning condition them from the hand, or deck, or graveyard. No, not. You can use Rainbow Gravity or whatever it's called to summon them from the hand or deck, but you have to have them properly summoned to bring it out from the graveyard.
So pretty much, in short, as long as the monster does not go back to the hand or the deck, you can make special. To answer your question specifically, when Blackluster Soldier leaves the field, yes, you can special summon it, as long as it does not go back to the hand or the deck.
Which means you have to re-summon them again properly. You just can't go, oh, boom. Alright. XSJS1230XX asks, when you attack with... Asks.
Oh.
When you attack with Utopia, number 39 Utopia, can a person activate a trap... If a person activates a trap card, can you use Utopia's effect to avoid the trap? No, you can't. It's because Utopia is a trigger effect. He's not a quick effect. He's not a spell speed 2. He's a spell speed 1. All trap cards are spell speed 2. Counter trap are spell speed 3. Quick play spells are spell speed 2. All other spells are spell speed 1. Which means since Utopia has a spell speed 1, you cannot chain his spell speed 1 effect to any spell speed 2 or other spell speed 1 or spell speed 3 cards. Which is the only reason why you can't change his effect to Magic Cylinder or Mirror Force or stuff like that. Well, Mirror Force wouldn't matter, but stuff like that. Now, since Neo Galaxia's Photon Dragon, since his effect says during either player's battle step, it shows that he's a quick effect, a spell speed 2. If a monster effect negates something, or says during either player's turn you can do something, it means it's a spell speed 2, which means it can chain to another card. It can chain to a spell speed 1 or a spell speed 2, but not a spell speed 3. So, if Galaxia's Photon Dragon attacked a monster, and your opponent activated Mirror Force, you can chain his effect to Mirror Force to banish him and the targeted monster, so they won't be destroyed. So your Galaxias won't be destroyed.
That's my boy.
If Utopia would have said during either player's turn, then you can do that, but he doesn't. He just states if a monster attacks, negate it. Alright. My friend Chocolate Rain 091 says, sorry, LOL, I can't PM you, but with Thunder King, right, you know his effect. You can't negate Monster Born because Thunder King says negate a special summon monster, not a spell or track card that special summons a monster. That is right. Thunder King Ryle says negate a monster, negate the special summon of a monster. It doesn't say it negates effects, which means you can't negate monsters summoned by card effects with Thunder King Ryle unless the effect does not cause a chain or there's a certain kind of card that allows it to happen. Like another example, the two cards that come into mind that are examples of the only cards that through a card effect can summon a monster that can be Thunder King or Solemn or Blackthorn is Valhalla and Alternate Offering. The reason why you can Solemn Judgment a monster summoned by the effect of Alternate Offering or Valhalla is because Valhalla is the effect of Valhalla that's doing it, not the initial activation of it. Which means if the opponent plays Valhalla and they activate the effect of it, you can Solemn Judgment or Warning the monster they summon or Black Hornet.
So same with Call of the Mummy?
Yes, Call of the Mummy, same thing.
Alright.
So basically, if a continuous card effect allows a monster to be summoned, you can negate the summon of the monster it brings up because it happens through the effect, not the initial activation. All in short, monsters or cards that say they negate summons cannot negate summons of cards that are summoned by the initial from the hand or flip face up effects, unless the card was already face up.
Roach.
Exactly.
Roach is the same way.
Same way. Now, Solemn Warning is different, and Real Pressure are different because they can negate card effects that do it, but they still can't negate the summon after the resolution of a card. You have to negate the card doing it. All right, now if those are the only questions I had, I'm gonna answer another question that a lot of people will come up with problem with. What's one? Allied Justice Canister versus Gachi Kentetsu. Do you have to detach twice for Gachi or just once? You just do it once. Reason being is because Allied Justice Canister's effect says, when this card battles a non-dart monster, destroy it immediately with this card's effect without applying damage calculation, which means it never proceeds into the actual step where it determines if the monster will be destroyed by battle or not. Which means if he attacks a face-down monster, Canister never flips it, because the timing of Canister's effect is before a monster that's face-down gets flipped face-up. So if you attack a face-down monster, he tries to check the attribute of that monster while it's face-down, and he can't find out what he is. So it proceeds to the damage step in which the monster flips face-up. Now, since it's past the time he would destroy it, he can no longer kill it by his effect. That's the only time Canister goes into battle and kills a monster by battle, if he battles a face-down monster or a dart monster. Other than that, Canister always auto-kills anything else that's not dart.
Doesn't Gachi say destroy this sorry. Doesn't Gachi say remove a
XY material to keep
instead?
It's continuous effect.
So as long as Canister is concerned, he's done his job.
Yeah.
Right.
So since Canister never goes into the damage step, which is when a monster is determined to be destroyed by battle, Gachi only has to attach once. Because Canister says that's when his effect works. And that's when it stops. So basically, Canister and Neo-Spacian Grandmold, their effects activate at the same time, when a monster would be flipped face up. But Grandmold has a better advantage because he can bounce face down monsters, because he doesn't carry just when he battles a monster.
Galaxy.
But
Galaxy.
Galaxy has Full-Time Dragon actually better because it happens at the battle step, which is earlier than the damage step in which Canister and Grandmold will work. So Galaxy has Full-Time Dragon always wins when it comes to battling Grandmold or Canister, but Grandmold always wins when it comes to battling Canister. This is why. Since Canister's effect must happen, is considered to be a mandatory effect. Mandatory effects always become Chain Link 1 and always activate over a turn player's priority. So which means, and also, since Grandmold is a you-can optional trigger effect, it's always Chain Link 2 when it goes against a mandatory effect. In any other case, it's always Grandmold that takes priority as the turn player. But since Canister is a mandatory effect, he always takes priority and becomes Chain Link 1. And since Chain resolves backwards, it goes like this. Alright. Grandmold attacks Canister. Even though it's my turn, Canister is a mandatory effect that has to activate first. So this becomes Chain 1. I choose to or to not activate Grandmold's effect. I choose to do it. So it chains to this. So he becomes Chain 2. Chain resolves backward from the last card activated to the first. So Grandmold returns Canister to the hand himself. There's nothing there for Canister to kill, so it resolves without effect. I know that a lot of rulings are confusing. There's a lot of things people don't understand, but always consult your local judge or just someone you know, and then ask them. They'll help you out. So if y'all have any more questions, I'll be free to answer them. So don't hesitate. Don't be scared. I have a YouTube account. Y'all seen me before. This is what you gotta do.
It doesn't bite unless you're made out of chicken.
Or cheese. So if you got cheese or made out of cheese, be careful. Alright, this is Eminent Hero. The guy you just heard was Isaac. Like, comment, subscribe, spread my channel around. I'm trying to reach 300 subscribers because without me, y'all won't be here. Alright, guys. Peace out.
Peace.
Then you ruined it. Alright, I'm done.